Hi guys, I'm excited that you came back. Today we're going to be talking about computer safety and we are going to get started with our puzzles on code.org. So usually we are in a computer lab when we do coding. And so I'm not sure where you're going to be doing coding from, but it's so important that you're safe while you're doing it. So one rule is when you are carrying your computer, I want you to always use two hands. So you're going to carry it like this. And then you need to be watching where you're walking so you don't trip over anything and then you fall and break a computer. So I'm excited because we are going to do our first puzzles today together. And this is called drag and drop. Most of you guys know how to use a mouse or an iPad. For your iPads, you're just able to click the screen, and that's great too. But some of us in classrooms have mice, and it has a left button and a right one. So you're always going to be clicking your left top button. And sometimes the mice have these silly little things, and that just makes your page move up and down. So today, we're going to do that. When you are learning to click, you will grab your mouse and point on whatever you want to touch and click this and hold it down, and then you can drag it. So let's check it out on this puzzle right here. I'm going to, first, if you need help and you do not know how to read, you can click this little button over here with the speaker and it'll read
Drag the
it to
block
you.
to the target.
So she said, drag the block to the target. So we say, okay, and we click the yellow. Now, if you are using a mouse, you're going to click on this smiley face and hang on to that button. And sometimes it lets go on accident. And that's okay because you can just re-click it. As we go, each puzzle is going to get a little harder. Sometimes they don't want to stick together, and I get really, really frustrated. So when you're frustrated, it's okay to take a deep breath. So now we have some trickier puzzles. So you're going to try to figure out which ones go where. Does that look right? No. And you can try to unsnap the pieces. So this looks like the top. And this looks like the bottom. And there's his belly. We did it. So we're learning to drag and drop. And this helps tell your brain, my eyes want that little piece on the puzzle to move over here. And it tells your hands, move that over here. You're creating an algorithm right now. And then we're going to keep doing a few more puzzles. So sometimes it's easy to get frustrated when we can't quite figure out a puzzle and how it works. Or sometimes the computer doesn't want to do what we're telling it, and you can get really angry and frustrated. So we're going to watch a video right now about a little squirrel named Stevie who is very frustrated. And then we're going to learn how can we deal with our frustration in the computer lab when we're supposed to be being quiet and working, but we're just so angry. So we are going to watch Stevie in the Big Project right now so we can figure out how
Stevie and the Big Project, written by Kiki Brotzman, illustrated by Jenny Lang.
Stevie is a very skillful squirrel. She's the fastest runner in her class and one of the best spellers at her school. But today, Stevie is not happy. She's been working on a project and can't seem to get anything right. Oh no, Stevie thought to herself. This isn't good at all. Stevie could feel her face getting hot. She was worried that someone would look over and see that she was failing at making her project, and they wouldn't like her anymore. I'm so mad, Stevie screamed. I'm mad at this project, I'm mad at the teacher, and I'm mad at myself. With that, Stevie picked up her project and smashed it on the floor. It broke into pieces, and she began to stomp it with her foot. Just then, Laurel came over to see what was going on. Stevie, what's the matter? I hate this project, and I hate this class. Oh, Stevie, Laurel said softly, it sounds like you're frustrated. Frustrated? Stevie asked, confused. Yes, frustrated, Laurel confirmed. Being frustrated is a lot like being mad, but usually it means you're mad because something's not the way you want it to be at the moment. You might think you're mad at your teacher, or yourself, or your project. You might even blame your anger on those scissors or a piece of tape. When you start feeling like you're mad at everything and you just can't take it anymore, that's frustration. But how do I get rid of it? Stevie asked. I never want to feel this way again. Lots of things are frustrating, Stevie. The trick is knowing that frustration is a good thing. A good thing? Stevie was shocked. Yes, frustration is an emotion that lets us know that we're about to learn something. When you're frustrated, it means that something's not the way you want it to be. If you can figure out how you want it to be and then fix it, you'll have learned something that can help you next time. I don't think I understand, cried Stevie. Think about it. When you were learning to ride your bike, what happened? Laurel replied. I would get on my bike, push on the pedals a few times, then fall over, Stevie said. And how did that make you feel? Laurel asked. I was so upset. I cried, and I told my mom that I couldn't do it. Stevie frowned. Then what happened? Laurel prompted. She told me to take a deep breath and try again. Just a couple times later, I got it, Stevie said, beaming. Then how did you feel? Laurel asked. I felt amazing, Stevie squealed. I was so proud of myself. How do you think you would feel now if you'd quit the first time and never learned to ride your bike? Laurel asked. I probably would have felt upset at myself, frustrated, and I would still feel frustrated every time I saw someone else on their bike. Exactly, Laurel exclaimed. Frustration is really just a sign that you're about to learn something amazing. If you give up before you learn that lesson, you're left feeling icky and upset. It sounds like you're also talking about persistence, Jorge added. Persistence is another word for not giving up. If you try to solve a problem enough times, in many different ways, eventually you'll get it. But if I try 8 times before I get it, that means I've failed 7 times, Stevie said. Why do you think failing is a bad thing? Jorge asked. Everyone fails at things before they know how to do them, just like you with your bike or any baby learning to walk. You need to start thinking of the word fail as a way to describe trying to learn. I never thought about it like that, Stevie exclaimed. Just remember, Laurel began, when you feel frustrated, don't give up. Here are some tricks to help you feel better so you can be persistent. Count slowly to 10. Take some deep breaths. Write your worries in a journal. Talk to a partner about your feelings. And ask for help. Once you've calmed down, Jorge added, then you can focus on being persistent and figuring out what's going wrong. Here are some tips to help you be persistent. Keep track of what you've already tried. figure out what is happening. Understand what is supposed to happen. Look at what that tells you. Make a change and try again. Thanks, you two, Stevie shouted. I'm not feeling frustrated anymore. I figured out what went wrong with my project last time. Now I'm ready to be persistent and make it better. With a new attitude, Stevie finished her project and spent the rest of the class testing it out with her friends. The end.
So Stevie was so frustrated because she could not accomplish everything she wanted right then and there. And things were not going well for Stevie. And it's so easy during coding to get so angry and frustrated. But the fun part about coding is that you can always go back and try again. And that's super important. So while we're in the computer lab or while you're at home on your Chromebooks or tablets, don't get frustrated. Just say, I got this. I can do it. And you will be able to do it. So keep working hard on coding and try to practice clicking and dragging and dropping so you can accomplish your puzzles. I hope you all have a great day. See you next time.